VJ Edgecombe had a historic rookie debut. Tyrese Maxey dropped 40 points. The Sixers pulled off an epic, unreal comeback in Boston. But most importantly, the 76ers learned something huge last night that will hopefully carry with them for the rest of the season. And it proves something that we've been talking about all off season long. We'll talk about all of it here on Philly Take with RB. But welcome into the show. Ladies and gentlemen, where were you last night when VJ Edgecombe posted one of the best rookie debuts ever? Shout out to everybody that was in the live show. We had a ton of people calling in after the game from all over the place, and you could just feel the excitement. It felt like one of those games, those benchmarks where you're like, all right, I feel the energy changing. But I'm going to talk about a bunch of things today, from VJ to the guard play with Maxey to a hidden gem on the Sixers to a bunch more. But before I get into all that, I want to turn it over to you down in the comments section right now. How do you feel after this game? Where do you sit? Are you more on the side of, hey, it's just one game, hit the pause button, relax. You played a Celtics team that really wasn't that good outside of Jaylen Brown and Derek White? Or are you shading more towards the side of the Sixers have a gem and this thing looks like it could be special this year? I want your honest thoughts down below. And before I give you mine, a shout out to the sponsor of today's show. This one's presented by National University. They are a nonprofit accredited university offering flexible online schooling. If you are someone, let's say, that works a full-time job, or you have kids, or you run a business, or whatever other responsibilities you have, and they make it feel like you can't go back to school, well, that's why NU is perfect for you. They offer 4 and 8 week online courses that help you start sooner and finish faster. They have 150 plus degree programs and credentials and a 50-year history of innovative learning and support models for working and non-traditional students. They are one of the largest private nonprofit universities in the U.S. with 50,000 plus students and 250,000 plus grads. They also provide other resources like mental health counseling and career guidance, and they awarded $50 million plus in scholarships last year. So if you are interested in going back to school but feel like you really can't, check out NU, check out their flexible online curriculums. Click the link down in the description or pinned in the comments and get more info today. Speaking of the best offerings, VJ Edgecombe only offered up maybe the best rookie debut that many of us have ever seen. Here are some of the flicks from last night. I mean, this is game 1. I honestly don't feel like I'm overreacting. This game, in a way, felt like a turning of the tide. It felt like the page was turned, and I'm not throwing shade here at Joel Embiid. I'm just saying, there's a couple main takeaways that I had from last night, and I shade more towards the side of, man, if they get things right, if Joel and PG and McCain come back and, everybody's good, why can't this team be special? My number one takeaway from last night is this. The old 76ers would have never won a game where Joel Embiid drops 4 points. How many years have we been saying that the Sixers have not properly supported Joel Embiid and built the right supporting cast around him? Joel Embiid would usually have to go for 40 points to win a game. And over the last 5-6 years, if Joel Embiid went 1 for 9 and dropped 4 points, the Sixers are getting blown out by the Charlotte Hornets of the world. And last night, with as bad as Joel Embiid looked, the Sixers were still able to win the game. My other takeaway is this. We saw 74 points combined out of Maxey and VJ, and Grimes did his thing off the bench. It was more of a quiet game from him, but we still don't even have Jared McCain. Matter of fact, the feelings I felt last night were honestly a reincarnation of my feelings last year when we saw Jared McCain drop 30-something against the Cavs and 29 against Orlando and 5-6 threes in a game and was off to one of the best Sixers starts ever. And I don't think VJ's going to do that every game. But my one takeaway that mirrored the start of Jared McCain last year was just the effort and the mentality and the aggressiveness. Like, VJ came out of the gate and he was firing away. And my favorite play from VJ last night was where he drives downhill at like 100 miles an hour, does a little crossover step over, and just hammers it down with no fear in his eyes. And then my other one's at the end of the game where he comes off the floor and he's yelling at his teammates, let's go. And he's pissed he missed 2 free throws. I mean, unbelievable job by VJ Edgecombe. And when they get Jared McCain back, this might be one of the deepest guard rotations in the NBA. It might not even be close. It was the guards. It's what we've been talking about all offseason. A change of the guard, no pun intended. In the preseason, they said they were playing a different style. And I said for the entire offseason that they need to be able to play up tempo. Now, maybe that's Joel Embiid at some points in a game, spotting up in the corner, knocking down threes. Now, I still think there's a spot for Joel to get his butt in the paint. And if he's going up against guys like Neemias Queta and Xavier Tillman, there's no excuse for Joel Embiid to not get any paint touches. The Sixers have to do a much better job of getting him the ball. But you notice the offense was stagnant when Joel was sitting on the perimeter, not taking a lot of threes. When he did, they didn't look that good. But a lot of the possessions were empty. They took a lot of seconds off the shot clock because they're running all these dribble handoffs with Joel Embiid. But out of the gate, it was VJ Edgecombe with 14 points in the first quarter. It was Tyrese Maxey with 3 threes in a row in the third to rejuvenate the squad. Honestly, it felt like Joel was either not conditioned well or his knee was bothering him. I'm just being completely honest. I'm not going to overreact for one game on it, but this duo right here, even if Joel is not playing, can win games. And that's something we were not able to say in the past. Now, what is the nickname for this duo? I think this is great. I think this is awesome. VJ Max. Instead of TJ Maxx, VJ Max. Whoever came up with that, shout out to them. If you have any other nickname ideas, let me know down below. Here's what Tyrese Maxey said to me on our interview. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check it out. It's pinned on our channel about a month ago about VJ Edgecombe. Quote, his charisma, good guy, good kid, but he works his tail off, man. He asks questions. He wants to be good, and those are the types of players that you want to be around. They told us all off season. He's a sponge. He absorbs knowledge. He wants to be great. In fact, I said he had the Maxey mentality. To Maxey, he agreed. And man, is this kid special. 34 points, 13 for 26, 7 boards, 5 threes. Matter of fact, I was looking up the rookie debuts. It was weird. A lot of these guys were coming off the bench. Even Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey came off the bench. Harper had 15. Ace Bailey, I think, only had, 2 points? He was also dealing with the flu. But, I mean, Jeremiah Fears had 17 off the bench. But none of these guys were close to VJ Edgecombe and the magnitude of his debut. I mean, he broke all kinds of records last night, or at least Sixers records. Most points in an NBA debut since 1959. I mean, he's second behind Wilt fricking Chamberlain. That is some crazy category to be in. VJ had 34 points, third most ever by a rookie in their debut. He broke AI's Sixers record for most points in a debut, which was 30. And we go back to last year. Like I said, McCain broke a lot of AI's records in the first 15 games. And now VJ's already out here making a statement. So when I look at this team and we look at VJ Edgecombe, yes, we liked Ace Bailey. We liked VJ. I talked about the differences between those two. I said VJ could be more of the plug in now type of piece, like he's going to be ready from day one. And I knew that he would impact the game in a multitude of ways. And even last night, I wasn't even so concerned with the stats. It was just the eye test, just watching the spark he provided to this team. But most importantly, this guy, at least offensively, showed us that he's ready to go from day one. Now, I don't want to overshadow Tyrese Maxey because, as I put here on Twitter, per RB Philly Take, with his 40-point game last night, Tyrese Maxey also tied the Sixers franchise record for most points in a season opener. With 40, he tied Hal Greer back in 1969. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are doing things that haven't been done in 56 years. Man, that was special. And all of the last year or two or whatever, Maxey's been put in all these different situations, these different roles with James Harden and Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, and everybody kept asking Maxey to take that next step. Even if Joel Embiid's not playing, even if Paul George is not playing, can Maxey be the guy to take the reins and lead the floor? He played an amazing point guard last night. He only turned the ball over once. He was deceiving the defense. He was manipulating the floor. He looked like an all-star. He was incredible. And, obviously the spotlight's on VJ, but man, Maxey played his tail off. Now, I want to give one final shout out, and that is to Dominick Barlow. We talked about all this in the postgame, but last week I said Dominick Barlow should be in the starting lineup. A lot of people in the comments said I was crazy. I said you haven't watched the preseason. Dominick Barlow, 13 points, 8 boards, 5 of them were offensive rebounds. This guy was diving on the floor for loose balls. He was bringing energy, and Joel Embiid could not jump last night. There was no rim protection at all. Dominick Barlow was everywhere. He is exactly what I've been saying the Sixers need at power forward. No, he can't shoot the ball that well, but he does everything else well. 24 years old on a two-way, yeah, I'll take that type of production. I mean, when's the last time the Sixers were even close to having a similar rebound total as the Celtics? I mean, no, the Celtics were not that good of a team, but think about it this way. Joel Embiid essentially gave you nothing, and you were still able to defeat that team. Now, last but not least, it's been a crazy day in the NBA. I just want to highlight this. Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones were involved in rigged poker games that went beyond counting cards. So Chauncey Billups, the head coach of the Trailblazers, was arrested today. Damon Jones was arrested, former player and coach. And Terry Rozier was also arrested. Things are getting crazy out here in the NBA. And I don't know what's going to happen next, but man, talk about a wild 24-hour sequence. A lot of the things that we were frustrated with watching last year were much improved out of the gate last night. And the 76ers showed us that they can win a game even if they don't play nearly a good game. So that's where we're at. Give me your thoughts down below. How do you feel about this 76ers team? Does last night change your thoughts at all? What do you make of VJ's debut? Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will catch you on the next one. Peace.